Hello?
Hello, my brother James.
I was sitting here waiting for you for like 5 minutes, and then right before you called, I realized, I should probably have the mic facing me, huh?
Your mouth is moving a lot, and I can't hear anything that you're saying. Uh-oh.
That makes sense. I said hello twice.
I just heard
this
response,
so
the
yeah, that
Skype,
checks out.
like, boom, bam, boom thing going, so I'm pretty sure that my audio is working.
I'm just gonna keep talking until you can hear me.
Yeah,
Gonna keep making noise.
You're not coming through my headphones for some reason. Hold on. Oh, I see. I know the problem is. All right, say some words now.
Talking into the microphone with some words.
Yeah, that was So I had my earbuds hooked up, but they were like, boo, 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 we're gonna die. So I put them down and I put regular corded headphones in, and then when I dialed up Skype and it was like boom bop boom, boom bop boom, calling your brother's song. Here's James right now. But then your mouth was moving. You didn't say words, but I heard words coming out of these tiny little white pebbles that I normally jam into my ears. And it's because they were still hooked up, and now I've unhooked them and we're all figured out. We've got it.
Solid.
Yeah, dog. Sorry, what were you saying before when I saw your mouth move but did not hear the words or sounds come out of it?
Oh, I was saying I waited here in silence for like 5 minutes for you to Skype call me, and then I realized 5 seconds before you called that my microphone was not at all near me or facing me.
Oops, whoopsie doozles. How are you? How's every little thing in your life? Your shirt's very floral.
So
I like
good.
that.
Thank you. I like this shirt a lot.
Things are good. Things are great.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of flowers, have you seen Annihilation yet?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
Get on that shit, dude.
I'm busy. I'll watch it when it comes out on video.
I mean, it's a gorgeous theatrical experience. You should at least read the books.
I'll get it from my local Blockbuster on VHS.
James, I don't know how to break it to you, but I don't know that they release video cassettes of new films anymore.
No, they do it at my Blockbuster. I think they make them.
Did they just tape it? They go into the theater and they just tape it?
Yeah, with a big old 90s handheld camera that takes VHSs.
Hey, just out of curiosity, your local Blockbuster, how do they spell it on their sign?
What do you mean, Phil? The way you spell Blockbuster. BLOKBUSTR. Blockbuster.
Yeah, that checks out, I guess. So what is the signage? What does that look like?
Well, it's a piece of cardboard. The word is written in Sharpie.
See, now that's troubling to me because that's not typical of a Blockbuster that I remember.
And it's just kind of leaning up against this shack in some guy's backyard.
Yeah,
at least I think it's some guy's backyard. They said there's a guy that lives there, but it doesn't look like anyone lives there.
So more of an empty lot with a shed in it, a handwritten cardboard sign.
Yeah.
And then they've just got VHSs of the films that you love in there.
Uh-huh.
Now, are there films in there that maybe like aren't actual theatrical releases and are more just sort of like unexplainable, physically upsetting depictions of like dreamscapes and hellish visions of sort of otherworldly phenomenon?
Yeah, they got a deal on those. They call it mystery tape. You pay 50 cents and they just give you one.
Yeah.
At random.
Yeah, and then you're cursed forever now.
Or blessed if you're lucky, but mostly cursed.
Have you been blessed as of yet?
No, I don't go for the mystery tapes. I just like watching them big budget blockbusters on VHS.
What's the ratio in your Blockbuster? What's the ratio of mystery tapes to sort of like big theatrical releases that they have available on VHS?
They got 2 or 3 shelves of the theatrical releases.
That's pretty good.
And they just got a dumpster full of the mystery.
Oh, yeah. And can you see into the dumpster, or do you just kind of got to stick your arm in there up to the shoulder and fish around?
No, it's overflowing. You just got to reach up and grab one.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Terrific. Well, I'm afraid for you. And I wish you the best in the, welcome to Night Vale-esque reality that you seem to be living in down there in South Carolina.
The sky is purple every day.
Do not.
I don't know what it means, Phil.
Please don't look at the dog park. Can I offer a suggestion?
Yeah.
Do you want to record a podcast?
Yeah. Okay.
Terrific. Let's do that.
All right.
Welcome to Movie Improvey.
Hello.
The world's first and foremost film repair podcast. I'm your licensed and board certified film repair technician, Film Stressman.
And I'm your executive film human, James Kettler.
We're just going human now.
I'm just trying new stuff out, Phil. You know, we'll see what sticks.
Yeah, maybe Terran next week.
Earthoid.
Yeah. Executive film organism, maybe.
Executive film carbon-based life form.
Executive film ugly bag of mostly water. James, we do have a very important and very large project of film repair on our plate this week, and I think before we chow down into that entree, into that big old juicy main course, maybe we should nibble and whet our appetites on a little bit of an aperitif or an amuse-bouche.
Oh, Phil, you know how I love an amuse-bouche.
Yeah, but for this metaphor, instead of a chef's offering, it's more of a movie trailer.
So there's no amuse-bouche.
I mean, there's a metaphorical amuse-bouche.
Oh, Phil, you got to be explicit with me when you're being metaphorical.
Oh, did I jive up your appetite too wet?
Yeah.
That was
right, let's watch some trailers.
That was barely a sentence. Hey, remember that? Remember Mr. Bean?
Yeah, I do.
Remember when he was 007?
Oh, do you mean Johnny English?
Were you aware that he is about to strike again?
For the third time.
Wait, there was already a sequel to Johnny English?
Yes, this is the third one.
Well, shall we watch the trailer for Johnny English Strikes Again? Because I haven't watched it yet, but I assume it's going to be bad.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Is Gillian Anderson going to be in this one?
Was she in the last one?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'd watch that on cable.
Yeah. It doesn't look that bad, but...
It doesn't.
We are down here in the film repair department. It came in through the pneumatic tubes. It's our job to repair it, even if it does look, I guess, inoffensive. Fine is a word that I could also use to describe the trailer. The core premise of the Johnny English franchise is, here's Mr. Bean. He's not a suave man. He's a goofer. He goofs it up. Oh, he sneezed on the queen's wedding cake, and he tried to wipe his snot off, and instead he drew the fuck word into the frosting. Now everybody saw it, etc. It's that man, but he's in the role of a very suave spy, a la James Bond. A la that cluster of polygons known as 007.
As he's known to a certain generation.
Yeah. So what if, look, let's just throw this spaghetti at the wall, fish out of water spy movie. Who you want to see accidentally be spy?
I was thinking, what if? So let's keep the bumbling idiot part.
Mm-hmm.
But what if
It's
he's
you?
a sort?
You're the spy?
Yes. What if it's me? Yeah. No. What if he's a sort of? You know how in like bad romantic comedies, almost always the female protagonist is like clumsy.
Yeah.
So what if he's like that? He's like, he honestly is pretty handsome and kind of charming, but he's just super clumsy. He's a sort of manic pixie dream boy spy.
So instead of Bridget Jones's diary, it's Bridget Jones's spiery this time.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So it's Renee Zellweger.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a member of MI5.
Mm-hmm.
And she's out to do secret mission. You know, gotta save England from radical Welsh separatists who are trying to blow up the Queen's corgis. And, you know, but she's just, she's so clumsy. She just bumbles through all of it. She's supposed to be, you know, seductive at the big dinner. But instead, during the dance, she steps on everyone's toes. They catch her stealing a bunch of shrimp in her purse from the buffet.
And she gets real drunk on box white wine.
Oh, and also, but like there's a bad boy who works for the Welsh separatists. And also there's like a good boy who she's supposed to be working with. He's her contact. Oh, but they're both so hot. She can't decide between either of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, she kills them both.
With the knives hidden in her heels.
With the knife, yeah, she's got them healing. She's sort of on like some Get Smart shit also.
Yeah.
I guess Get Smart was the original bumbling spy, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, in the same vein, you could have like a Zoe Deschanel as another one.
Exactly who I was thinking of. Yep.
Yeah. Instead of New Girl, it's instead of 500 Days of Summer, is 007 Days of Summer.
Oh, so just a week.
Yeah, you want to go back and maybe cut out the New Girl joke that we didn't have an answer for, and just make it sound like I just came right out of the gate with that 007 Days of Summer one.
No, it's gonna stay in.
Came right out of that gate with a really good joke, 007 Days of Summer. Yeah, no, I think Bridget Jones is spiery. I think we fixed it. I think we solved this one. You know, I'm not gonna lie, James. The last few episodes been a little weak on titles. I feel like we've been very high concept, very low title.
I agree.
Pretty happy with this one vis-a-vis titles.
Bridget Jones's I can't say it. Bridget Jones's spiery.
I'm real into it. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Should we fix another trailer?
Yes.
There's a trailer here, and I can't literally even remember whether or not we already fixed this one. It's called Followers.
Oh, I see it. I don't think we have. It doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, let's maybe take a gander at this one, see how we can help.
Oh, it's a social media horror movie.
Yeah, it's called Followers, James. So how did you not figure that out? So Followers is a trailer for a movie that appears to be a cross between the Blair Witch Project and Ingrid Goes West.
What is Ingrid Goes West, Phil?
James, have you not seen Ingrid Goes West?
I think I made that obvious.
It's so good. It's a movie about Aubrey Plaza, who is a mentally unstable individual who gets obsessed with one of the Olsens, not the main two, but the little Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth. Mm-hmm.
And like moves out to Joshua Tree to like follow her and glom onto her life. And it's fucking phenomenal. They really roast Instagram culture. They got the number of those influencers, style icons on Instagram, and they really hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah.
So this looks like one of those. It's except it's maybe with a lower budget than the typical Instagram photo. You know, if you follow your Instagram influencers, I like to call them instafluencers. Follow me on Instagram at instafluencer, instafluencer.
You made a bad name pun with your own bad pun.
Yeah, I really doubled down on that one. Kind of a double name tundra. All right. Oh, nope. I'm sorry. The police are here. I have to go to jail. They're taking me away. They're cuffing me up. I have to go to pun jail. I admit to my crimes. I've earned my sentence. I don't even remember what I was talking about anymore. This movie looks cheap. Before we fix this trailer, can I just workshop every single vlogger on the internet, on the YouTubes, starts their every video the same way, James? How do they say it? 2 words. What do they say every single time?
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. It's me, Logan Paul. Here I killed again. I can't be stopped. Hey, guys. Can we workshop a new intro for vloggers real quick?
Greetings from the Blagosphere.
Greetings from the Blagosphere is a good one. Greetings from the Blagosphere. It's me, Logan Paul. Here's more corpses. Greetings from the Blagosphere. It's me, Ninja. Here's the N-word. Here's a smash up of all the N-words I've said.
Wait, Ninja like from D-Antword Ninja?
No, Ninja from Twitch. Remember when you tried to cast a white video game streamer in one of our movies, and I said every white video game streamer says the N-word eventually? And now, like, the biggest video game streamer of all time just said the N-word, and it's like I was right, they all do it.
Yep.
Ninja's the one who streamed Fortnite with Drake.
Oh.
And then yelled the N-word.
With Drake there?
No, this was post-Drake.
Oh.
Drake would have, hey, if he'd done that when Drake was there, Drake would have been like, like.
Oh, like the meme.
You know that meme with Drake where
first
he's like, no, get that away from me, pushes it away. And then he's like, actually, yes. And he points at it in a friendly way. I think that when Ninja said the N-word, Drake was probably the first one. I think he was pushing it away. What if this movie Followers is just what if it's a film, a narrative film constructed entirely from memes?
Okay.
So it's like, in a movie, how a narrative journey is typically like you have a main character whose wants are not aligned with their needs. And they make some mistakes through their own agency, but eventually come around to shedding the baggage that was holding them back, shedding those hurtful wants, and accepting what they actually need in their life. And that sort of moves along a thread of narrative momentum with a series of beats and setbacks leading to a climax, and then sort of like a resolution. What if we did all of those things, except instead it was sort of like Drake, SpongeBob, Steam Tams, SpongeBob, American Chopper, Cat Picture, SpongeBob.
Oh, this is going to sound really dated in like 3 months.
In like 2 days. That American Chopper meme has been around for literally 3 days, and it's all, when I log onto Twitter, it's just, instead of Twitter, they should call it Phil looking at American Chopper memes. Is all it fucking is now.
It's all it is. Yep.
Or SpongeBob naked and out of breath. That's it. That's all I see.
Oh, there's a new SpongeBob one coming up.
Oh, it's coming up? You got the inside sponge scoop?
It's SpongeBob and Patrick sitting inside a cardboard box while Squidward's shadow looms over them. That's going to be the next one.
How do you know?
I just saw it for the first time today, and I think it's going to spread like wildfire.
What's the meme construction? Who's who? Because in like
the caption on this one was, when you get back with your ex and your friend that helped you deal with all the trauma finds out.
I get it. So Patrick is the ex, and the shadow is the one you've betrayed.
Yeah. Busting in on you.
I mean, that's kind of a horror movie right there.
Sitting in a cardboard box before a horrible squid man opens it up and terrifies you.
I mean, the scariest creepypasta of all time is the SpongeBob one.
Is it?
So maybe that's our horror movie. Maybe that's our meme horror movie, because all memes are approaching a SpongeBob singularity.
Yes.
A sort of spongularity, if you
Yes.
will. Wherein all memes are just SpongeBob, unless they're videos, and then they're all just steamed hams. The fact that all these Generation Zers, all of these, Generation Identityers, have never seen a single episode of Simpsons, but are just seemingly obsessed with the steamed hams bit is so baffling to me.
Times they are a-changin', Phil.
They are a-changin', but so I think that's our movie. I think we've fixed this followers trailer by it's just SpongeBob now. And it's SpongeBob and Patrick, and Squidward's there, and then Squidward, he does commit the suicide as he does in the creepypasta.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very scary. But it's told only through a series of screen-capped images overlaid with impact font.
Yep. All of which are SpongeBob memes, not necessarily connected to the actual story of the movie.
Right. It's like SpongeBob doing that turkey pose and all of the uppercase and lower cases. And it's like, oh, you want to live? And then it's
the box, it's the in the box meme, and it's like that face when you find Squidward's body the next day.
Yeah. And the fact that Squidward's shadow is the one overshadowing them, and that's the body that they found, really adds a level of pathos to it, that all real auteurs strive for.
Yeah.
Terrific. So now let's stay on our good title tip. Let's really nail the title for this one. Instead of followers, it's going to be called
Squidward's Suicide Pants.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. Yep. Sponge Scare Bob.
Wait, no, shouldn't it be Scare Pants?
Scare Pants Sponge Terror.
Sponge Death Scare Pants.
Sponge Blob, a renowned horror film. Scare Dance into Hell. James, would you like to fix a movie?
Yes, I would. A lot of my notes this week, I will say, look more like Haters Cast notes than they do movie improving notes, but I still got some good kernels in there.
Yeah, this movie, huh? This week we're fixing a movie called The Gods of Egypt.
Hey, remember how last week I said I thought there was another Egyptian movie that I get this one mixed up with?
Mm-hmm.
I figured out what it was.
What it was?
It was Ridley Scott's Exodus Gods and Kings.
Was that another one full of white folks?
Yeah, Christian Bale and Joel Edgerton were the leads.
Can I ask why all the European descended folks got to be in our Egypt movies all the time?
If you ask director Alex Proyas, it's because this isn't the real ancient Egypt. This is a place that didn't even exist. Therefore, I can cast only white people.
Yeah, cool choice, director Alex Proyas.
The guy who directed The Crow.
The original one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's another one, I think.
Dark City.
The Crow is another movie that has people in it and also birds. So I don't know why I didn't pick up on that. You know? Yeah, this movie's so it's Jamie Lannister and Gerard Butler, and they turn into big old dogs and robot dogs, and then they fight each other.
Yep.
The end.
Did you watch this whole movie, Phil?
Nah, man, I didn't have time. I had to go to work, so I watched about 45 minutes. I watched through Jeffrey Rush fighting spice worms.
Space lamprey?
Yeah, that's about as far as I got. Does it get better?
No, it gets so much worse.
I honestly, I had a hard time tearing myself away from it. It was pretty engaging what I did see.
Yeah, it gets worse because the plot is real bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, to use your terminology, it's very Lord of the Rings plot. It feels like you're watching someone play a video game because literally the whole movie is just like, oh, we got to get the thing. Now we have the thing. Now we got to go to the new place. Now we're at the place. Now we got to get the new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first like 30 minutes of this movie, like shit was going by so fast and the pace was so breakneck that I was like, damn, is this movie like 90 minutes long? And then I looked it up and it was a full 2 hours and I realized it was going to come to a grinding halt at some point, and it does.
Yeah. That's too bad. What if we fix it?
We can try.
Do you have any good ideas to fix the movie? Do you got anything you want to throw at me to really just get us off at a gallop?
As always, I'm going to start with my dumbest idea.
Sure.
There's a bunch of shots in this movie where Jaime Lannister's head looks way too big for his body. So what about a movie about gods where just, I don't care what the plot or the story or the characters are, but there's gods in it and they all just have really big, awkward heads.
So not to go back to my normal well, but it's kind of like GoldenEye big head mode.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Is it set in history times?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's set in the modern era.
So it's the modern era. The world is, the culture in which our movie takes place is still a monarchy, a hereditary monarchy, wherein the king is God, Rex a Deus or whatever. Maybe is it a real pantheon or is it a made up pantheon? Is it a fictional pantheon?
No, it's a real pantheon.
Is it the Greek one still, or do you want to go a different way?
Maybe it's just, Christian God, and like he finally decides he's gonna show up, and he's just got big awkward head.
Just a big old bobblehead.
No,
I like it. I want it to be a pantheon. Let's say it's let's go Greek. Let's go with the Greek pantheon. And it's Ares and Aphrodite and
Zeus
and Hephaestus and Helena and Apollo
and Artemis
and
Athena and
Hermes.
Dionysus.
Yeah, and all them gang, but they got big old goofy heads. And they come down to Earth and their heads are it's modern times. And maybe it's like one of those movies where superheroes just show up and we're like, wow, they're superheroes now, just like we heard about. Only now this time it's gods. And they're like, the Greek gods have arisen. They've returned from their slumber to take their rightful claim over, humanity, moving the chess pieces of human life around. And here they are. And they show up and they're just like, blah, blah, blah. Big old nasty heads wobbling around their neck like, we're here, worship us.
Half the time their heads are just dragging on the ground next to them because their necks are too tiny to hold them up all the time.
And they are big, right? They're like 30 feet tall.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're very, very big.
But like 10 feet of that is just noggin.
Uh-huh. Oh, I was thinking not even that proportion. I'm thinking like 60% head here.
Like 30 feet tall, but 20 feet is head.
Yeah.
So they're really just dragging them around.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things they do is
they do have ripped calves, though.
They enslave mankind and force us to build big old rolling sleds to kind of push their craniums around on.
A little bit safer for them.
And I think Zeus is still a very lecherous god who, turns himself into swans and oxen and such and so forth in order to seduce mortal women. But when he turns into animals, guess what? Their heads are really big too.
And when he turns into a shower of gold coins, all the heads on the coins are too big.
They're real big.
They just they go off the edges of the coin. Like it's too big for the coin. You can't even see the whole thing.
And I think at the end of the movie, they've been tormenting mankind with their ridiculous demands and, sort of haberdashery bankrupting hat requests. And I think at the end, kind of like you hinted at, Yahweh, the Christian God, does return to Earth and shows up, and they are regularly proportioned and incredibly powerful. And they carry with them, as Jesus did, a flaming sword. And Yahweh, kind of just like a fucking wheat thresher through these outdated and terrible Greek deities, slices all of their heads from their feeble necks until their ambrosia-rich blood soaks the earth. And Yahweh stands proud, at the head of humanity, and sheaths his sword and speaks in his billowing biblical voice and says, "They should have quit while they were ahead."
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Long run for a short slide.
I still tell that joke all the time. My friends hate me.
I get an idea here. So it's Gods of Egypt is this one that we did?
Yeah, huh?
What about Gods of Aztec?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good underexplored topic.
Yeah, you got like Mixcoatl and Quetzalcoatl. And like the thing about the Aztec gods is they're all real fucking nasty.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, it's like, oh, here's a handsome boy who forgot to shave his neck and wears sweaty, shiny golden clothes. This one, it's like, oh, here's a fucking giant, like rag draped skeleton that rips your bones out. Hey, this one's a gibbering huge mouth on the chest of a headless human body screaming around in the night. Just a bunch of nasty fucking gods.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like a plot or anything. It's kind of that.
Yeah, the plot's secondary.
Oh shit! This one's a fucking, I don't know. He's got 8 arms. He's a snake. He ate him. He ate us. What else you got, James?
So I had the idea for a piece of historical revisionism where instead white people are replaced with people of color, but then I realized, oh, that's Hamilton.
Well, in this case, so in Hamilton, go back, replace white people with people of color. That's historical revisionism. In the case of telling the story of ancient Egypt, replacing white people with people of color that's just the history at that point. I mean, they're just, there were just people, there were just brown folks living there. So like, it's just the history that we've done now.
Yep.
I got an idea here, and this might be a little bit obvious. This is a movie about people transforming into animals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's never been a movie?
What?
Animorphs.
I wrote it down too! Animorphs movie, please.
Just do the Animorphs movie.
I have been waiting for an Animorphs movie for a long time, but
Did you
somehow...
read the Animorphs book? Because I very much did.
Oh, I read all the Animorphs books.
Now, according to Wikipedia, Animorphs is a portmanteau of animal morphers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That checks out.
Now, would the Animorphs movie be set in ancient Egypt?
No, Phil. I think it has to be faithful to the books and be set in modern times with a group of hip young teens.
Well, let me pitch this at you. Teens still existed in ancient Egypt. You know what a lot of people think built the pyramids?
Aliens.
But what if this time those aliens, they're the Yerks?
Oh, they're gross, nasty, gray brain slugs making people build pyramids for them.
Yeah, so it's ancient Egypt times. The Yerks come to Earth. The slugs take over the minds of all of the folks there. King Slug, he's the pharaoh. And everyone else got to build pyramids that are some sort of secret alien technology, a la Stargate.
Which they also directly referenced in Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, they did kind of go through one, huh? But a bunch of rowdy Egyptian teens get powers from the Andalites and can turn into, much like the gods of legend. I think they have to just they can't transform into full animal, right? They transform into like, on the cover of Animorph books, like about halfway.
Yeah, huh?
Where it's like, oh, I'm a boy. And at the other end, it's like, I'm a horse. And then somewhere in the middle, it's like, kill. I think that, but because in this movie, they don't transform. It's not like Horus is a bird. Horus is a guy with bird stuff.
Right.
I think
he's a bird man.
Yeah, I think they transform into just, they've got a jackal for a head. I've got.
They're all tars. They're all tars.
What's a tar now?
Like a centaur or a minotaur.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I'm a snake tar. Hey, check me out. I'm a crocotar.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah. I think instead of Animorphs, it probably is called Taramorphs. And I think much like one of our movies from last week, it would star Tara Reid.
That makes it.
Tara Reid's Taramorphs.
Yeah. Wait, it's Tara Reid's. So did she write it too, or?
No, I mean, like, she's just sort of attached to it.
But you don't call it like William Shatner's Star Trek.
No, it's more of like a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
This is the second time you've brought up Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Because it's the most insane construction for a fucking restaurant name I've ever heard in my life. Who's Chris and who's Ruth and how do they relate to one another? The only thing I can assume is that it was Chris and he started a steakhouse and someone's like, look, your Aunt Ruth has a lot of pull in this town. You're going to want that name recognition. Get her on board.
Or it was sweet and like they were a married couple and he was like, "Oh, I'm Ruth's Chris.
These are my humble steaks."
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Tara Reid's Taramorph. It's Tara Reid presents Taramorphs.
Okay. On that Animorphs note, another just different property that I would like to see adapted that I got
Beast
out of
Machines.
This movie. Yes! Oh my god, damn it! Stop doing it! You stole my thunder 2 times. Yes, Beast Wars movie, please.
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, look, we've had 19 Transformers movies at this point. We fucked them all up.
Yep.
We fucked them. There's no going back. We can't do the Autobots and the Decepticons anymore. But the Autobots and the Predacons, the Maximals and the Predacons, I think we can. I think Optimus Primal and all of his friends
are ready for their film debut.
Yeah, I think Optimus Primal and Rat Trap and Dinobot and Waspinator and Cheetor and Sentinel and Tigatron, they're all ready for their big screen debut.
Yep.
Because look, dude, Beast Wars is legit like a good show.
I agree.
Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Transformers is sort of a big CGI spectacle. Personally, I've always been more attracted to practical effects.
A la the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film.
I'm on that Stuart Gordon shit. I'm on that Toby Hooper shit. I'm on that John Carpenter shit. Practical effects, Beast Wars movie.
So how would you achieve that, Phil?
We're going to build them all.
Oh, we're going to have a bunch of animatronic talking robots?
Yeah, think like, what's that guy? Ultraman. Not Ultra. Yeah, Ultraman. Think like Ultraman. I'm thinking Ultraman.
You're not worried it's going to come off awful Power Rangers-y?
I'm comfortable with that. Power Rangers rule school. Here's the thing. You know what we have that Power Rangers never had?
We what?
You know what we have that Power Rangers never had?
What?
A budget of $500 million.
Oh. Yep. That is our daily allotment from the movie repair department.
It's episodic, but yeah.
No,
I mean,
daily.
Like, what have we spent so far on that fucking SpongeBob meme bullshit? $10. And the one before that I forgot already. Like max $14. I think so. That leaves us with. Hold on. Let me just real quick.
About $500 million.
No, it's gonna be about $499,999,996. That's not true because I said 14, not 4.
986.
Yeah, shoot. Guess what, craft services? Less, less gold flakes in your coffee than we expected. I'm sorry.
Which is good. You shouldn't drink gold. It's bad for you.
Yeah, I want practical effects. I want like Jim Henson Studios making these big old nasty robot puppets. I want like
Obviously there'll be that like half puppet, half human operated kind of deal.
yeah.
Because they can't be just robots. That'll look shitty.
No, it's it's a big gorilla, but there's like a guy inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then he turns into a robot, and there's still a guy inside of it.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder. Give me your next one. I won't undercut it. I promise.
I don't have a whole lot of other ideas. Most of these are just things I wanted to yell at the movie.
You had like 3 ideas, James?
4, yes.
Okay, great. I got a couple. I'll rifle through here. So this movie, like a lot of movies like this, like the Game of Thrones, like a lot of these historical dramas, are all about a hereditary monarchy. And who's gonna inherit the throne? Is it the king's son, the king's brother, or the king's second son, the king's daughter? It's fucking stupid, and it's regressive.
Mm-hmm.
We live in the 21st century. We have elections now. So I got an idea here. It says God elections.
I love that. Oh, Thor won again this year. God damn it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the gods are Kevin Kline, right? Everyone loves them. They're real goofy. They promise everybody unlimited pizza days in the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
And the gods have been winning year after year after year after year. As far as anyone can remember, only gods run. There's 2 parties. Each party puts up a big old tall god, and they win, and everything sucks. But this year, we've got a Reese Witherspoon in the race. She's a can-do, go-getter human being who's like, no, actually, I'm going to be king president.
Of the gods.
And they're like, you're just immortal, though. And she's like, there's no law in the rule book that says immortal. And okay, now that I've said there's no rule against it, I kind of want it to be a dog. But I'm going to backtrack on that. Keep it a Reese Witherspoon. Plucky go-getter.
No, it's a dog. No, it's a dog. A dog would win.
No, I do think dogs should be able to run for office. But in this case, I want to keep it a human being because I think a dog might be a bridge too far. I think if we're going from human being to dog, sure. We're going from gods to human beings. I think that's enough of a jump. Maybe in the sequel it can be a dog. But yeah, it's a human being. Like, no, I'm going to run for office. And everyone's like, you can't do that. And they're like, watch me. And they raise the funds. And what people don't realize is that, most of the world is populated with human beings, and there are very few gods, and human beings vote, and they want to see representation in office. They want to see themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe she wins. I don't want to spoil it.
She wins.
She does win.
So what do all the gods do when they're not elected? Does only one god get elected at a time, or does, like, Zeus bring his cabinet?
Yeah, it's just like this movie where it's like Horus is king. The other gods are all, either fucking him or chilling with him or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Doing their own thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've never thought of it before, but I guess Zeus and his pantheon are sort of like a cabinet. They have different responsibilities. Like Ares is sort of like the minister of war.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hephaestus is sort of like the director of HUD.
Okay. Keep going.
Hera's the first lady.
Yep.
Artemis is kind of the head of the parks department.
Poseidon's head of the EPA.
Definitely. Apollo is kind of like Don Jr. Hermes, he's sort of like the head of the Arts Council.
Dionysus heads up the ATF.
Yeah. Definitely.
He keeps all the contraband.
Would you like another idea?
Yes, please.
So this movie is about a pantheon of gods who are real and live on Earth and are real and have drama. And I kept
Yes.
thinking to myself, I was like, what are other pantheons of gods that I like to see in fiction? Like, obviously, like, Thor and Odin and all them are in Marvel, and we've seen the Greek gods fictionalized lots of times, and like Viking gods, or I guess that's Thor still.
Yep.
And I talked about the Aztec ones earlier, but I'm like, well, what's one that we've never really explored? And it is the 21st century, and we do live in America, and we're not really in a theocratic society. We are in a late stage capitalist society. So I thought, like, what about like a capitalist pantheon of gods? And so what I came to here was sort of like a Game of Thrones, Gods of Egypt-esque, like political family drama about, McDonald's and Grimace and Mayor McCheese and the Hamburglar and all their friends.
Okay, what's the seat of power that they're vying for? Just
The
mascot
mayorship.
of McDonald's?
It's the mayorship.
Oh, for Mayor McCheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
How can the Hamburglar possibly run his campaign with his criminal background? I don't know. He's just so charming. He's making the voters forget about it. What are you looking at? You look in shock and awe.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on mcdonalds.wikia.com, category characters, and I'm looking at the pages here, and I got Grimace and Hamburglar, Ronald McDonald, Mayor McCheese, Birdie the Early Bird, the Fry Kids, Mac Tonight, Officer Big Mac, Captain Crook, the Chicken McNuggets, Uncle O'Grimacy, Sunday, Speedy, etc. And then there's a guy here called the Ham Murderer.
Uh-huh.
And when I click through, it says the Ham Murderer is a lunatic killer and a mischievous homicidal criminal who kills McDonaldland characters and takes their sandwiches. He has a long rap sheet of burger-related crimes and a cry of stabble, stabble, stabble. I don't feel like... Oh, so it's vandalism on the website. It's from an Onion article. Well, anywho, back to the real characters. So you got Ronald, Sunday, Ronald's dog, Grimace, the Hamburglar, Birdie the Early Bird, Fry Kids, Mayor McCheese, Officer Big Mac, Captain Crook, the Professor, the Hamburger Patch, Uncle O'Grimacy, the Happy Meal Gang, the McNugget Buddies, Cosmic, Trash Cans. What? Okay.
Trash can. These all sound like that meme I sent you once with the procedurally generated Coachella lineup.
Yeah, they kind of do. There's a guy named I Am Hungry.
Trash cans.
What
Is it like I.M. hungry?
No, look at this thing. He's so aesthetic. I Am Hungry is so aesthetic, James. He's a short-lived McDonaldland character who appeared in the 1990 direct-to-video animated film The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, The Visitors from Outer Space, which I kind of want to pause this podcast and see if that's on YouTube and just watch the whole ding-dang thing. He's a floating monster who eats anything he sees. I think he's the set of our movie. I think Mayor McCheese is our Osiris and I Am Hungry is our set. And Ronald McDonald is our...
The episode is on YouTube.
Ronald McDonald is our Ra. And I think, only because he looks exactly like... So this is uncanny. I want you to do a little side-by-side here. Nikolai Coster-Waldau looks exactly like Mac Tonight. I mean, they could be twins. Go look at a picture of Nikolai Coster-Waldau from this movie where he has like the bandages over his eyes, and then look at a picture of Mac Tonight, the moon-headed man from McDonald's, in his sunglass shades, and it's like, they're looking into a mirror at each other.
I mean, from an objective standpoint, I feel like you could see anybody as Mac Tonight, since his face is mostly featureless and moon-shaped. But on the other hand, I do see what you're talking about.
Okay, so I think definitely Ronald McDonald is Ra. Mayor
Mhm.
McCheese's Osiris.
Okay. Okay.
I am hungry is Set. And Mac tonight is our Horus. And of course, Birdie the early bird is Hathor.
And Grimace is the mortal kid.
Grimace is, well, no. I think Grimace is probably Chadwick Boseman's character, Wisdom. I think
Really?
a Fry Kid has to be the mortal kid.
And who's the Hamburglar?
Maybe the Hamburglar should be the mortal kid because he did burgle a bunch of folks.
He was a thief. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Yep.
Hamburglar
It's
is
the
our
Hamburglar.
mortal kid.
Yep.
So that's an idea.
I think that one's my new favorite.
And then last but not least, I got an idea here. So in this movie, Jeffrey Rush does play the sun god Ra, who lives on a spaceship in outer space and fights big old nasty worms.
Yep.
Are you familiar with Starjammers?
No.
I know we did a D&D thing last week, but Starjammers is like a D&D campaign setting that's set in outer space. So it's like sword and sandals fantasy, high fantasy stuff, but in outer space on spaceships.
Mm-hmm.
I want an ancient Egyptian outer space, like space fantasy, space opera movie.
Yeah, as soon as I got to that scene with Jeffrey Rush fighting the space lamprey, it felt like I didn't care about the rest of the movie because I could just be watching that. Just give me that.
So compelling. I want to see Grandpa Outer Space fight Egypt monsters.
Yeah. Just otherworldly beasts of shadow and smoke.
Well, cool. So we've been recording for over an hour, and I'm out of ideas. Do you have is there anything that's a front runner to you for like what are we gonna do this time? What's our big idea?
Animorphs movie is definitely high on the list.
I'm down with that.
Or Mac Tonight and the Hamburglar take down Ronald McDonald.
Well, no, Ronald McDonald's a good guy.
I'm sorry. They take down I Am Hungry.
I Am Hungry. Is it Eam? Eam Hungry?
It's I Am.
Is it like
it's
Ian,
gotta be
but
I
with
Am.
an M?
It's gotta be I Am. It's gotta be I Am Hungry. I don't know, Phil. The whole episode is on YouTube, and I do have it pulled up in a tab. It is 40 minutes long.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that right now. Let's make an Animorphs movie.
I'm up for that. I'm very up for that.
Let's make what did we decide that it was called?
Tara Reid presents Taramorphs.
Yeah, let's make Tara Reid presents Taramorphs, the movie.
Okay, so is Tara Reid in it?
Absolutely not. Now, I think that she does do I remember how Laura Linney like presented PBS Masterpiece Theater back in the day. She'd be like, "Hi, I'm Laura Linney. Here's Downton Abbey."
Yes.
I think Tara Reid just sort of presents the Taramorphs.
So just like it's like Malcolm McDowell sitting by the fire in a library in a fancy chair, but it's Tara Reid.
It's Tara Reid. And she's got all of her nasty desert monster friends with her. And she's just like, "Hello, I'm Tara Reid. You know, I've long been fascinated by animal.
And how to morph into them.
And how to morph into them. Long has the morphine technology beguiled me until I discovered these ancient texts on one of my many archaeological expeditions.
Mm-hmm.
Here I now present to you my findings. These." And then she like throws the dust into the fire and it flares up. And it's like, "These are my Taramorphs." So it's sort of like a cross between Masterpiece Theater and Are You Afraid of the Dark and Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
And Animorphs.
And Animorphs. And then we're
starring Tara Reid.
And then so she throws the thing in the fire and the fire flares up, and all the bookshelves around her, like a book falls out of the shelf and the camera zooms in on it, and it opens up to the middle and it's full of hieroglyphs, and the page of wind comes and the pages sort of like billow, and then the hieroglyphs kind of like start moving like stop motion style, and then the camera zooms down into the page, and then we're in ancient Egypt. And then we see the spacecraft crash into Earth, and it's shaped like a big ol' sphinx. And a bunch of
Or pyramid.
nasty lamprey worms come out of it and scramble all around the town and suck onto people's brains. And next thing you know, they're the kings of Egypt, and they're taking everybody as a slave, pushing big old rocks around. Got to build a pyramid, except for one group of rowdy teens who were staying up too late, shooting off fireworks down by the Nile. And they met the other ones.
So fireworks exist in this ancient Egypt.
Yep, and they met they met the good aliens, and they're the Andalites. Are like, hey, check out. You see what's happening. We don't have to tell you. Here's some powers, and then they blow the smoke into the fire, and the fire flares up. And then Tara Reid,
everyone blows smoke into fire.
And then Tara Reid steps out of the fire, and she says, "I gift to you now my Tara powers," and she blows the dust into their faces. And next thing you know, they can turn into half of any animal that they want.
And on either half, too.
Yeah, I want my bottom half to be a crocodile. There you go.
But half of you has to stay human. You can do top half, bottom half, and you can also do left half, right half.
Also middle half.
Ooh. Ugh.
I think if a quarter you is up top and a quarter you is on the bottom, that whole middle half can be, a big
Make
nasty
sure you
bird.
hold your arms down by your side so your arms get turned, because if you hold them out, they don't.
Yeah,
Stay
otherwise
human.
you got like a nasty, just kind of a wet frog body with human feet and human arms.
Yeah.
And a real unhappy head.
And you're just dragging yourself along.
Now,
your legs don't bend the way they're supposed to for your body.
So there's now two ways this story can go from here. They can either our rowdy teens can sort of work as in a guerrilla fashion, no pun intended, and use their animal powers on the DL to sort of expose the worm folks for all of their terrible deeds and lead like a people's revolution, or they can use their animal powers, their taramorphing abilities, as it were, to impersonate the gods of Egyptian myth and be like, hey, it's us. We're the gods, actually. Check all this out. I've got like a jackal up here. Kill all of these false idols.
Ooh, man. Those are both really compelling.
Choose
I like
your
that
adventure.
It's a grassroots movement better.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's a grassroots movement, but the people who follow them do believe that they are, in fact, the true gods.
Yes. But they're all humble about it. They're like, no, we're just half animal, half people.
We're just simple teens who want to shoot off fireworks that we've invented. Check these out. They're fireworks.
Seriously, we have so many more bottle rockets, and we can't shoot them off as long as these dicks are in charge. Please help us.
Yeah, and then the people rise up. And, and then we cut back to Tara Reid, and she's, sitting in her big old comfy chair, and she's nodding, and she's like, I hope you learned something from that. I did. And then she takes off her robe, and you think it's going to be like, what is this now? Porn all of a sudden, Tara Reid? This is weird. But instead, her whole middle half is actually horse.
And you realize that's why she looked so tall the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You were thinking in your head, you were like, Tara Reid looks longer than usual, but I haven't seen her in a movie in a while. Maybe I'm misremembering her torso length. I've had a lot of weed. I don't want to say anything to my friends because maybe I'll sound crazy and embarrass myself. But then when she does expose her nasty equine torso, you all kind of look to each other and you're like, oh shit, I thought so. And then
Phil, I think this is the best movie we've ever made.
And then credits roll to end. Shall we cast this monstrosity?
Obviously, we can randomly generate this cast.
Will, are we going to get teens, though, if we do that?
I don't care.
I guess groans play teens all the time in a movie.
Yeah. Age-blind casting, Phil.
Okay. How many teens do we need, do you think?
5.
5 teens. Tara Reid, I feel like, should play herself.
Obviously.
Unless you want Laura Linney to play her.
Yeah, I do.
All right, so Laura Linney's going to play Tara Reid.
I
All right, let's randomly generate. I got my dice right here. M D B. All right, let's go, buddy. The movie is. So I feel like we should we like characterize our teens at all so we know who we're casting?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna go simple, like 5-man band dynamic.
So let's cast sort of like a Leonardo-esque duty-driven teen leader.
Yep.
Movie for this one is gonna be 50 Shades Darker. And our moody teen leader is Eric Johnson from The Nick and Smallville, and is 100% 40 years old. Let me bust out my ancient Egyptian name generator here real quick.
Should we? We don't want to make the same mistake this movie did and cast a bunch of white folks, right?
Well, you're the one who wanted to randomly generate it, James. By definition, it's going to be mostly white folks.
I'm rethinking that, Phil. I don't think we should fall into that same trap. This is movie improvy. We got to make the movie better.
Okay. So now I'm Googling Egyptian teen actors. What if we just cast all of these 5 young upcoming Egyptian actors and actresses you should keep your eye on from this July 12th Identity article, 2015? Let's just cast all of them. Let's just do all of them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great. So Leonardo, stoic teen leader, Lila Fauzi. This young girl is definitely going to have a successful acting career because of her determination and the support she gets from everyone around her. Give me another teen trope. Give me another teen,
Ooh, the second in command who's like slightly cooler than the leader, but
also like kind of aloof.
Yeah, and angstier, and they'll never be the leader because they're just not as good.
Yeah, I think that's going to be number 2, Mohammed El-Sharnubi, on this article from IdentityMag.com from 2015. Young up-and-coming Egyptian actors and actresses you should keep an eye on. The multi-talented young star can not only act, he can sing too. He starred in more than 12 movie series in just the last few years. This young star is going to make it big because he's always working on new projects. Now, I think we need a young one who's maybe like the kid brother of one of the two main leads. Just kind of got dragged on for the ride. Yeah, the heart of the story. I think, in my opinion, it should be Ahmed Malik. He really speaks to me.
I agree.
He's got that baby face and that kind of, natural charm that you really want. He got his first role in a TV show and then a bunch of other stuff. And his many successful roles have proved that he's definitely here to stay. Number 3 on 5 young and up-and-coming Egyptian actors and actresses that you should keep an eye on. Now, the next one, I think we need our Raphael. I think we need our sort of sullen, angsty teen who's maybe a little bit of a bad kid.
No, we already did that one. That's the second in command.
Oh, is that one? I thought the second in command was sort of like aloof and too cool for school. Whereas this one is super emo.
They're usually both. Like a Sasuke from Naruto or a Matt from Digimon.
See, I was thinking our number 2 was a Michelangelo and like a jokester. This is all a joke to me. I'm too cool for it.
That's like the heart.
Oh, that's the kid?
Yeah.
Or well, then you give me the next one.
Mikey's definitely the kid of the Ninja Turtles.
You fucking tell me what the next one is.
The last 2 we got are the big one and the smart one.
What do you mean the big one?
The big strong one.
Like the tank?
Yeah.
It's not a character trait. It's just a physical description.
Not necessarily. They're the big one. Like, they're usually maybe not too bright, or like they're big and scary, but they're nice underneath.
Maybe they're like a hothead rush into battle.
Yeah, could be that too.
Maybe like our berserker.
To
go back to our D&D tropes.
Yeah.
Big tank, super strong, powerful, probably mostly turns their body into hippopotamus parts.
Yep.
Always rushing in a battle to crush the enemies. They're not too bright. They care deeply about all their friends, and really they're rushing into battle not out of some anger, but out of an urge for protection. And I think, in my opinion, it should be the young, bubbly actress and TV presenter, Sally Hamad.
Yeah. Sort of a Starfire take on the trope.
You know, in my opinion, Sally, she's taken predominantly small roles, but her acting skills have proven that she's going to have a bright future. And that future is in Tara Reid Presents Taramorphs, starring Laura Linney. And so, lastly, we need a Donatello, right? We need a nerdy smart one.
Yep.
Pushes up glasses. I've actually invented fireworks today. I use my powers.
I call them fireworks.
I use my powers to have a big old bird head. I'm smart, like a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pitch someone to you for this role?
Hit me with it.
You can take it or leave it.
I'm gonna take it. Because I got a feeling it's the last option.
It might be out of left field, but so there's this article on identitymag.com called 5 Young Up-and-Coming Egyptian Actors and Actresses You Should Keep Your Eye on. I think it should be. So if you scroll down, James, if you go to that link I sent you real quick, scroll down to number 5 on the list.
Yeah,
Jamila Awad.
Oh, yeah, she's perfect.
Yeah, I think Jamila Awad is going to be the one. Because honestly, if she continues acting, she will definitely follow in her family's footsteps and become successful.
Yep.
I don't know if you knew this, her grandfather was a famous comedian.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Yep,
I mean, I knew that the whole time.
We did both know that Muhammad Awad was, of course, a famous comedian.
Wow.
And
her father's a director.
I think we've done it.
I think we've hit it out of the park.
Should we cast some villains?
Yes.
Should they definitely be
Well,
white?
aren't the villains just the big space worms?
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter who plays them.
Yeah, I guess we can voice cast because the Yeerks do talk.
Yeah, but
when
don't the
they're in their
Yeerks take
human
over
hosts.
people bodies?
Yeah, that's true. They do.
We should cast those human bodies.
Okay.
Let me throw a curveball at you.
Okay.
What if the number one main villain, the leader of the pack, the Pharaoh, what if it's played by Tara Reid?
I mean, obviously.
Yeah. She's not going to be busy. Laura Linney's playing her.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Tara Reid.
Yep.
All right. No, I'm good with that. I think we're done casting now. I think that's it.
I was gonna say we should have a few other villains, but nah.
Nah, fuck it. I'm happy ending on that note, honestly.
Yep.
All right. Hey, gang, get out your movie passes. Go get on Fandango and plan out your weekend because Tara Reid Presents Taramorphs coming to a theater near you.
I got a gift card for movietickets.com in my wallet. I'm going to spend it on that.
Hell yeah. Wise choice. Save a little bit extra for popcorn because I think this one's going to have you eating it.
I don't know if I can buy popcorn from movietickets.com.
Save your pennies. Because this one's going to be a real popcorn
Kernel
chewer.
cruncher.
This is going to be a real kernel cruncher. Well, James, is that it? Did we do it?
Yes.
What was that? What are you doing? Why are you clapping?
Dusting
We did
my
such a
hands
good
off.
job.
No, I was dusting my hands off.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
clapping
we did
too. We really nailed it.
It was a job well done.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you listen to the show and you like it, I cannot stress this enough. Fucking tell somebody about it.
Anybody.
Well, so hopefully someone you think would also like it. But yeah, fucking anybody. Tell your mom, be like, hey, listen to a podcast. It's called Movie Improving. They fix bad
Mom,
movies like the one you like, Mom. Close the door. I'm playing Overwatch. Rate and review us on iTunes and whatever, but like just to tell some people about this podcast would be super dope. Burn a CD of episodes of this podcast and break into their car and leave it on their dashboard.
If they have an old enough car that still has a CD player.
Yeah. Wow. Check your privilege, James.
Just saying.
Yeah, or like I guess I don't know, put it on the cloud and then put that in their future car like James has. I want to say thank you to Dragonfly I want to say thank you to Cusick for their song Dragonfly, which is their theme song. I want to thank you to, firemen and women out there on the front lines every day, first responders. risking your lives.
Satan.
I want to say thank you to Satan, the devil who lives in hell, for blessing us with their, guidance and watchful eye.
Every day.
You can follow us at Movie Improvie on all of the social stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at Phil James, on Twitter at Doc Professor Man. And if you want to give us some feedback, like hit us up on the tweets or shoot us an email at movieimprovie@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to send us like ideas for movies to do or fixes for bad movies or tell us we suck and not to stop doing the podcast and it's bad and you hate us, we welcome all. We'll take all comers, But I think
we will tweet you back for sure.
I think James, you know what?
Hey.
Hey.
It's Chinatown.
It's Chinatown.
It's Chinatown.
I think it's Chinatown. It's Chinatown. I'm doing sort of like an ASMR China. It's Chinatown. James, it's Chinatown. You gotta get it. I just want to turn the page. It's Chinatown.
This is a backdoor pilot for our ASMR series. It's Chinatown.
We're gonna do it. It's called It's Chinatown. It's our ASMR series coming soon to the theater. It's Chinatown.
Goodbye.
Bye.